Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on some Barbie jewelry. I'm definitely going to make two sets, a necklace and earrings, and if we have time, maybe a third. But I'm not sure we will have time because, these take a few minutes. So I don't want the video to go over long, so we will keep it at probably the two, but I have some beads sitting out here in case we go for the third. We are going to use our SoftFlex Design Company's Turtle Love Kit to make these particular sets. One is going to be using the cat's eyes, some of the iridescent beads, and one of the shell beads. The other, the purple set, is going to be using some of the briolettes and the little seahorse that does not match the other two, the bluish colored one. So let's turn down and I'll show you what I plan on doing. Right here I have a little pile of beads. These are the blue set. They're going to be silver. So we're going to use this silver memory wire. I got this gold the other day. I had never found gold. We're going to use that for the other two. But this one is going to use silver because you see I have silver findings in here. So when you make a Barbie jewelry, a necklace anyway, you need about a ring and a half of ring, so about right here would be about good, of ring memory wire. So we need to get our memory wire cutters out. Get this opened up a little better. And snap that one ring and a half off. We'll keep these around since we'll need it for the gold later, but right now we just need this one. Now I'm going to take a pair of round nose pliers. Normally I would have used, in the past I would have used memory wire pliers, but every time I use my memory wire pliers, I break them. So just take our little loop and loop it around. This one side, and you have to go all the way around. You can't leave a gap at all. If you do, your beads will just fall off the end here. So I tend to like to wrap it enough that it looks like it's a this is hard to maneuver, so sorry about that. Anyway, I'm making it like a split ring. See how it's got an extra edge right there? We'll make sure that's pretty squished together. So now we got to feed our beads on, and my design that I've created, I'll need to get a think Rose. I'll need to get some head pins out for this, but what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to, some of these are for the earrings, so we'll just set the earring stuff aside right now. That's this stuff. And then we have one set of these for the other side. Bing. And if I decide we have enough, we could put another. I'm thinking, though, that that's going to be too much because it's going to get too big. So we're going to take these two out. We're not going to use those. So we'll put these aside. And what we want to do is we want to put, quite a few of our little blue ones on. And then we will do this pattern here. Come here, baby. Bing. And then, looks like I have an extra one of these too. what we're going to do is we're going to put a few beads here before where it's going to come together, just a few little seed beads, maybe 3. And so it separates these big pieces some. I'm not sure I'm going to need these. We'll set them aside for right now. But the first thing we want to do is string up like about, I don't know, 10 or 11 of the little seed beads. Now this is tricky because feeding these onto the memory wire can be a royal pain in the schnozzle. So pull it apart, and it's generally easier to do these down on the mat. These are tiny ones. I think they're 11s. You can use a bigger size if you want. Oop. Let's not throw them. Like I say, though, this is the most difficult part, is putting the little seed beads onto our wire. Come on, guys, go down there. Now, I'm counting. You don't necessarily have to. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I thought I had 11 on there. Well, I'm going to put an 11th one on here. Now, if you don't put enough beads on here, you'll need to add some more later, which means you'll have to take off other things. But because I'm going to put a few in the middle, what I'm going to do is just start putting these on. Now, a lot of times I would even use smaller beads than these so that it's a not overly chunky on your Barbie, but these are pretty beads, and these are out of our Turtle Love by SoftFlex. Come on, go down there. So we'll see how these look, because they might be too big and chunky for our Barbie. We'll see in a minute. Now I'm going to put like 2 or 3 little seed beads right here. And so we can then, I need to get this strung up so that we can put it on here, because it's going to hang as a dangle. Hopefully I'm not getting my head too much in your way as I'm trying to get up these little seed beads. I think that maybe is, I think I'm only going to put the one there. Now we have to wrap this one up so it can slide down right here. This pin, these pins out to do the wrapping the shell. But while I was at it, I'm just going to, this one's put together more or less, but this is how the earring is going to go. Just like that. So we'll finish the earring up later, but this is what it's going to look like. So got that on. Now let's get our shell done here. I'm going to, since I already have them out anyway, I'm just going to do the shell with the round nose. So put it in here, go up and around and over. Just flip it, bring her down and over like so. I'm going to get my pliers and hold this loop and then just wrap it. And I'm just going to do finger wrap this one because it's not that hard. The wire is not that stiff. Though it is wanting to slide down, so maybe I should get the pliers out, but we'll see. I am going to get the pliers out. It's easier, in my opinion anyway. See how loose that was getting there? I don't like that at all. And I think it actually might have gone over itself. But let's cut this little bit off. And tuck it in. Come on, you. There we go. Now, this is just going to now fit right over the wire. And slide down here. It's going to hang right there. Now we need one small of the seed beads, since that's all we put on the other side. Come on, go down there. And then we'll feed these bigger beads on. Now, because if I've got too much of our little seed beads up there, which I may have, that's fine. You can break them off. Because they're glass, you can just break them right off with your pliers. Just break them in half. I wouldn't want to try that with a regular bead, but I would with a seed bead. Go on there. Now I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 the seed beads after this. So let's see if we can, what this looks like with 11 on. I'm going to recount these and make sure they're all right. But I do believe it's the right amount. Now I've got more wire than I need, as it turns out. Come on, go back around there. But they are not quite. Once I wind it, see this bead, and I'm pretty sure I have everything relatively tight. Oh, there's one loose there, so let's see. So when they wind up, you want them to be relatively close so that you don't have a whole bunch of extra, but you don't want a lot of loose either. So we're going to push these little seed beads out of my way. But what we want to do now is take our round nose pliers, and again we're going to wrap, and we're going to wrap it so that, like I say, we make a what looks like a split ring. Now, if you end up with extra wire, you can do one of two things. You can cut said extra wire off, or you can just keep winding until you've got all this space taken up. Now this one has turned a little bit, so I am going to twist it back into place. And you can see I still have quite a bit of extra space here, so we'll just do a little bit more loop. Then I'm going to go to the other side where we originally started, and we're going to do some more loop on that side so that we even out our loops, or try to anyway. Turning memory wire isn't the easiest thing in the world to do. So let's see how much space we have left that we need to get out of our way. Just a teeny bit more. This maybe not, because this one is inside this loop and I don't want that to happen. So we need to get this loop turned a little bit more so that it is not creating a problem here. I think I just broke a bead. Yes, I did. Oh well, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like many people are going to count them. But we will go over and tighten this just a little bit more. Same with this other side. I'll be the first to tell you that memory wire is a bit of a difficulty to move. So there's our first little necklace. And here's my Barbie doll. So we'll put this on and see how it looks on her. Get out of the way, Shell. So I think that's going to be just fine. So there we go. I'll just take it and just pull it to bring it back off. Though we'll probably put it back on there in a bit, but right now we're just gonna let it be. Now, see how it does have a loose little bit right here, but it's not, I don't think it's enough to cause it a problem. That one keeps sliding though underneath those, and that's why it's loose, because this one bead keeps sliding right underneath our loop here. And that's because we have a slight gap here. See it right here? So I'm going to try again to get that gap closed some. Don't break any more beads though, Rose. This one is the 10 side. I already had broken that one. So I think that's better, I think. So anyway, there's our necklace. And I think I'm going to see if I can slide one of these little seed beads up on here to bring that consistency. We'll see. Will you go around the corner I put in there? Yes, you will. Good girl. Would you go back in place? So now that we've got this, we're going to take our round nose pliers, and we only want a little loop here, so we don't need a much. So up and around and over, and bring her down and around, and there is our loop. I'm going to wrap this little one up a couple of wraps. When you tuck this one in, you're going to have to be careful, since I put that seed bead up at the top, to not break our seed bead, because it's going to be easily broken, just like that one I did accidentally on the other. I've got it crooked, so I'm going to have to straighten it too. See how it's turned to the side there? Now that's still a little bit crooked, and that wire did not tuck in the best in the world, but I think it'll do. Oops, broke the bead. Was afraid of that. Which makes that one a little bit loose. I don't like that loose, so we're going to cut it apart. Okay, when you're making these little doll earrings, you make them about the same as you would your own. Of course, you're making a tiny earring, and hey, some people, that's what they like, so that might be great for a person's earring right there. You just put a definite wrap on the top. The difference is when you make its post that goes into your doll's ear. So what you do is you take your flat nose pliers and you go up, oh, I don't know, about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch there. Then you take this and bend it this direction, and then flatten it out. And then you want to take your cutters and you want to cut this wire. Let's pull it out just a little bit here so we don't cut the wrong thing. And you want to cut it right where it meets the loop. And we'll squish this baby back down again. Like so. Now you want to open this end up and slide your earring piece onto here and then close it back up. There's earring number 1 done. It's now a post. Now I think this one actually could have a little more off. It's going to stick out a little bit if I don't. So I'm going to, where did I get my cutters? There they are. I'm going to take off, about another, just a little bit, just a little sliver. And then we're going to push that back down into place. So there is our first earring done. And then we do exactly the same thing with this one. Now, do these need to be exact? No. They do not, because we're going to put that right there. Looks good. It's going to go inside the doll's head, so it doesn't matter if it's exact or not. If it's not exactly the same, no big whoop. You're not going to see it. Like I said, it's other than the part that's going to stick out of her ear, right here where the eye is at, you're never going to know that that's there. So up and on. Close it back up. Come on, get out of the way there, dearling. And there is our earrings and our necklace. So there's the first set of earrings and necklace for our Barbie dolls. Aren't those cute? So the next set we're going to make is going to be a purple and gold set. Now, in the past, I would have still used the same memory wire, the silver, but I found when we were down at the ocean, I found some gold. I've never used gold memory wire. I assume it's more or less the same. So what we need again is that loop and a half. And I am actually going to cut 2 because I've got another necklace that we need this gold for. So we'll open it, we'll take our memory wire pliers or cutters. Come on, don't argue with me here. Go inside here. Down. Decide on if that's where I want the spot to be. I can go down a little bit. There's our first loop. Now we'll go and we'll get a second loop for the second necklace that we're going to make in gold. Oh, come on, don't go under my finger now. So about right here looks good. Again, this is not an exact science. It's gonna slide off sometimes, and if it's not in the exact proper spot, it's not gonna make that much of a difference. It will make a slight difference, but not that much. So we'll put one of these aside, and we're going to take our round nose pliers again and make that overlapping loop on one side. So we want to get that on there and just twist. Now, as you can see, it's floating outwards again, and that's always seems to happen when I try to twist memory wire, because it's a difficult and stubborn wire. And see, it's turned. And I'm going to turn it back with my pliers. So there is the turn on this first one here. And let's put you guys up a little bit so you're not quite in the way so much. That's number one. Now we'll drop these out. This is the parts for number 2. Oop, come on. All the seed beads come out. There we go. Now, there's our loop. What we're going to do with this one, I need to get a jump ring. This little guy is going to hang here. And I'm going to take these little briolets, and I've got 4 here, but I don't think we'll take 4, so I think we're going to just do 2. And they go here, and then these guys will go on either side of our seahorse. And our briolet doesn't want to hang down properly here, but that's all right. Then we'll have a coin, and these might be, we might have too big of stuff right here, and if we do, we'll just remove it, or, you know, just not include it. Like I said, we have too many briolets. These have to go away. This is too small. I put a lot of stuff in here just in case I needed to put them in there. I'm not sure that they need that though. So in fact, these might be too big with all of these things in here. And we'll see as we go along. Now I was going to put these, and then, but I believe that I have my design having a couple of my seed beads right here by my seahorse, and there were, I think, some more along here, but we'll see. Let's get started. First, one thing we will need is to put a jump ring on our seahorse, because he's got to be in the middle, so he needs a jump ring. And I'm just going to use a Tinky Tot because, let's face it, that's a tiny, this is, even though memory wire is extremely hard and a pain in the rear to use when it comes right down to brass tacks, it's tough. And it's tiny. So we'll put our little seahorse on a Tinky Tot, close it up. So when we get to where I decide the middle is, we can put our little seahorse on. So, of course, we're going to start with some little seed beads. So I'm going to put, I think, well, we'll see, maybe 8 or 9. I'm not going to put as much as I did on the other one, because, for one thing, I think I've got more beads. A bigger bead, so I would have swore I had 7 on here. I must have knocked 2 off because that's only 5. Come on, you. Okay, that's 7. Those are pretty. think we'll put on at least 9. Look, come on, come apart so I can use you. Okay, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. That's 9. Now we're going to put on this guy. Come on, where's your hole? There it is. And then we'll put on a seed bead, and then the briolette, a seed bead, and then the other one. If I can get this to cooperate with me. Come on, seed bead. Now, the reason I'm putting this seed bead in is to get some separation here, because our briolette, of course, is a drop. And since I'm putting it directly onto the wire, come on, go around. I don't want it running into the other bead so much. Now we'll put on another seed bead. I wonder if I can put these on by hand easily. There we go. Now our blue bicone. Almost feels like a triangle here. Come on, baby, are you not going to go on? Okay, the bicone says no, we don't need to go on here. I don't like you, I don't want to go on you. So these are going to be excess. Oh, actually, I think I had these briolettes and these for the earrings, duh. So these won't go on, so that's fine. We will just put some more seed beads here before our seahorse. Let's see how about halfway. Actually, we are about halfway, so we'll put a couple of more seed beads on our seahorse, and then 2 more seed beads, and start up the other side. Okay, one's on. You know, I think I'll just put one, and we'll put our seahorse on. Let's see how he looks. Does he need another seed bead, because he might be bumping his head against the briolette? I think he's going to need another seed bead, because I think he's bumping his head against the briolette. See here? So we want 1 more seed bead on here. And maybe even 2 more seed beads. We'll see what looks best. Come on. Okay. Now we'll put our seahorse back on. Come on, everybody, go around properly. Okay. Now see, he's sitting much better now. So now we're going to put 3 more seed beads, the briolette, a seed bead, the blue one, and we'll see if we're going to need to break some beads off of the other side, since we did add these 3 seed beads here. We're not in the center anymore, see? So that's fine. Oh, come on, you. there's the 9. Now let's see how we twist around here. Come on, you. Go all the way up there. Oh, we had plenty of room. So now we need to wrap this side up. So we'll get our round nose pliers, get here at the end. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can wrap this other side just a little bit more, not too much. And there is our seahorse necklace. Let's get these little purple ones put away. And let's see what this necklace looks like on our Barbie. Oops, sorry for bumping. Now we'll just open this up here. Oh. And she goes on, and that's what this necklace looks like. Oh, yeah, you can see it well enough. So there we go for that one. And now we need to make... Now this one, these loops are a little larger than I longer than I normally do. You can do them a little less so that they don't crisscross like that in the back. Not that it really hurts anything for them to crisscross, but they don't need to. They could be about like this. So you could do with a little less wire if you wanted. So that is necklace number 2. There's necklace number 1. And there's our earrings for this set. And now we need to make the earrings for the other set. Now the problem with these is that this is a briolette, so we need to do a little briolette wrap, which to me is a pain in the rear. But we do need to do it. So we're going to get a couple of, a little piece of wire. This is the extra stuff here. This goes with this. Let's do 2 of these. Ooh, I got an extra one in here. It looks like that's all right. So what I need to do is I need to get some, wire that's to make the briolette. And because I have these head pins that I don't use, what I'm going to do is get a couple of these. I always use ball head pins anymore because I like that the ball on the end. So I'm going to get these 2, and I'm going to cut the little the end off of these. And now it's become just a piece of wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to bend this. Same with this other one. And then we're going to slide our briolette on here. And this is just the way I would with any regular briolette bead. and with any earring. It doesn't have to be a Barbie earring to do this. This is just the way I do these. So now that I've got this like this crisscrossed, I'm gonna keep crossing them till they come down to where I want to stop, which is going to be most of the way down here. Now that it's down like that, what I want to do is I take this pliers, go and bend this one this direction, and then I bend this one straight up. Now I'm going to take hold of this right where they come together here. Take my other pliers, and I'm going to wrap this a couple of times. Ugh, Rose. Let it slide upwards. I didn't want it to slide upwards, so we'll move it back down. One. And we'll probably do, I usually do 1 or 2 loops on these, sometimes 3, but 2 should do it. Take and clip the excess off here. I tuck it in. See how crooked we have it, because we will inevitably have it crooked from playing with it like that. Straighten her up. Put our blue bead on. I'll stop. And then we'll bend her forward. Now we'll do the same with this one. Bend this one up. It's not down as far as the other one, I don't think, so we'll fix that. Okay. Now we need to wrap these up, and then we'll make our earring pieces to go in the ear, and then this pair will be done, and it will match our other. So we'll get our little round nose out, and we'll wrap these up. Up and around and over. Bring her down and around, and make sure she's lollipop. Same with this one. Okay. Now we'll do the other one. So there's our 2 earring pieces here. So now we have to make our pieces they hang off of to make the posts for our earrings. So what we need is there's our flat nose. And again, we will take one of these wires, go up from this about 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. Make sure you go at this. Bend her up. Now these wires feel a little thinner than I usually use, but it'll work still. Now these could have been, this one I think, maybe it's all right. I was going to say I think it could have been bent up a little bit more. I mean cut a little closer or less close, but it's fine. Open up the eye. Slide in one of your wires or your earring pieces and then close your eye. Earring number 1 is finished. Now we do the same with the other one. Go up about 1/8 of an inch or so from the eye, bend her over, bring her up. Oops, I think that needs to be down just a little bit more. See, I had it way up at the eye too much. There we go. These wires almost feel like they might be too thin. And yes, they can be too thin because you need them to be strong enough to go in the doll's head, in her ear holes, but not to slide back out again. So these are a little bit lightweight. In fact, they might be lightweight enough that I might want to switch them. So there is earring number 2. Here we go, all done. Our 2 pair of necklace and earring sets for our Barbie using our Turtle Love bead mix. Now I've pulled my model Barbie's ear studs out so I could show you what these look like. So now we'll just put these right in this hole here that I've... Now if your Barbie doesn't have ear holes, and some of them don't, I will admit that that's the case, and you need to make ear holes for your Barbie, just heat a needle up. Be very careful if you're holding it because it will get hot. And then you can make a little mark where you want that to be. Then take and put the isn't that pretty? So let's turn up and you can see these better. Anyway, what I was going to say is take your needle and just punch it right through where you've made your mark at, and then pull it right back out. Because her head is rubber and it will melt a little bit, especially if you leave it in very long. So you don't want to leave it in very long. Just in and out with your hot needle. So let's turn around and we can look at this a little better. So here is our Barbie with the shell set on. Isn't she pretty? And then we can pull that set off and we can put our purple the purple set with the seahorse on. So and then we'll pull her earrings off. Now these are some of the bigger wires. This set was the one with the thinner wires that I wasn't sure if we were going to leave them in the thin wires. They go in a little easily and they pull out too easily a little bit too, but you can just, it's not coming all the way out without pulling it, so maybe that wire will be fine. Are you going in? That one doesn't come out even nearly as easily. So here is this set. Aren't those pretty? So anyway, I have decided to put the other set that I was thinking of making in a different video because I think we don't have the time for doing them here. Isn't that pretty set though? Hope you enjoyed making these with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we've been making this Barbie jewelry using beads from our SoftFlex design company, Turtle Love. Bye-bye.